I stopped and decided to pull out the camera, set up the graph. I already had it graphed. I'm listening to a song called "That's the Way" by Led Zeppelin, and it's if you're familiar with that, it opens up with acoustic, and then Robert Plant comes in. Don't know how I'm gonna tell you. Da 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 na na na. I can't remember the lyrics. I know bits and pieces. It's a beautiful song, and it's an acoustic guitar and Robert Plant for the most part. And this sounds amazing on this set. As good as anything I possess, and I have the Empire Years Legend X. On this song and that part. So please don't scream in. He said it's better than the Empire. No, I didn't say that. That set has positioning and a genuine holographic via its complicated and high quality crossover network. So don't get confused. But I don't think that part of that song sounds any better on that set than this set. Being specific now. I love it on that set, and I love it in the same way on this set because it's putting meat on the... Remember, the Empire Years has two dynamic drivers. The W9s, I think that they're called, or something. WX, Weapon X, I can't remember. There's two of them. This has a 13.6 beryllium-coated driver with that little S-tube thing. And we're looking at a graph, and it's looking like... It doesn't look like a big deal. Well, if there's not bass or low frequency in the track, then it's not pre-emphasized. You know what I mean? Like when you see a curb, it's got a big slope. That means that anything with bass is going to sound more bassy than the master, and stuff without bass that's got anything that's instruments in the lower region is going to be emphasized. It's got a slight 3 dB compared to 500. And then it starts to make that slope that starts at 1K is a short porch that's not going very high, and then it's not dropping that much. The vocals sound fantastic. The one track that sounded a little bit off to me was Grateful Dead. Let's go ahead and go through this. Let me say that I think that this is on my Chi-Fi list. This is top 3. That's shocking. The FH5 I did not like. The FA7 I liked it a little better. I didn't really get behind it, and I didn't do an enthusiastic video for it. Check the record. The last time I got excited for a FiiO IEM was the FH1. He said, "Oh, that thing's not." Had good bass, was affordable, was very, very comfortable. Fit like ear protection. Like OSHA certified. I thought that set was excellent. And compared to the F9 and F9 Pro, which had a lot of treble, couldn't deal with that. You see a peak over there that's actually at about 10K. That scale goes from 8 to 16, those hard bars. That's about 9.5 to 10. Doesn't sound like it at all. Nothing remotely. So let's go through this real quick. Prince Purple Rain sounded great. The grinding sound at the beginning, I'm always talking about that. The auto-tune sounded awesome. And because it's got that low energy, it sounded really, really dope. I listened to Ambitions as a rider, and as soon as the bass came in, it was really, really hard. And I thought, well, this is going to be a set that maybe people might say, oh, the bass is bleeding into the mids, and so I had that in my head. I'm looking at the graph, and it's not doing that on a graph, but it's hitting so hard on Tupac, I'm thinking this could be an issue. Highway to Hell. Got the bass guitar. This is your typical 4 or 5 member band. Sounded excellent. The bass guitarist wasn't any more forward than he's supposed to be, and that's when I mean, literally one track after Tupac, I thought, okay, this is not... The beryllium is the stuff. There's some people that follow this around, like this material, and they look for sets with beryllium because they're a big believer in its benefits. And I'm becoming like that, I guess. No More, No More. 2 things I'm checking for, 3 things I'm checking for. I'm checking for the piano, as I've said, 20 hertz, 20 kilohertz. It covers the entire spectrum. If there's a mid recess, there really is none, as you can see right there. Look at those mids. Look at those mids, damn it. The piano sounds fine. If anything, the usual emphasis on the high keys that you hear, because when you hear a V on a piano, you're going to hear the low and high keys. The high keys sound a little quieter than normal, but that's because a good number of them are existing right here. There's not, and it's very close to here. So imagine that this is a piano and there's keys that range from here to here. Whatever keys are in 10K, I'm not really noticing them, and that I'm not noticing either. I'm noticing that the upper keys are not emphasized like they would be in a telltale V or a soft V. This is not a soft V. This FiiO did a fucking excellent job. So impressed. The hi-hat crash shouldn't be a splash, it should be a crash. Sounded appropriate. Melissa by the Allman Brothers. This is sibilant test, and it's obvious because the title is Melissa, and it's double S's, and because the name of the song is Melissa, he says the name Melissa several times throughout, and he's close to the mic. Sounds like a Dwayne Allman, I believe, and no issues whatsoever. Happy, happy, happy came here because the splash of Ginger Baker's cymbal hi-hat was perfect. I don't know. What is it? Here it comes. That one. Sounds beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then I went down to here. The guitar at the beginning is this is what the one oddity, when maybe it's where God, Jerry Garcia, holy crap, he suddenly, when it goes from the guitar to his vocal intro, he sounded a little more forward than I'm used to, but this was the one song where that was the case. If you're into hip-hop at all, Money Trees by Kendrick Lamar. At the beginning right now, there's a, you know that there's women saying, ooh. There's a second vocal layer track where they're saying, ah, like kind of ghostly. So the ooh that you usually hear on this track, there's another layer that I've not really paid attention to, but it was clear right here. I don't know why, but I've went and played that 2 or 3 times and was just like, wow, I did not notice that before. So again, it's there's the and then there's another layer audible vocal track where they're doing like kind of like, sounds like Ghost almost. I can't catch it perfectly on this, and that's when I thought, these are top 5. That's amazing. Good Kid, Mad City featuring MC8. Hammers doesn't bleed into any mids like it sounded like Ambitions as a rider, so it handles bass. Remember, the point of having a metallic coating on a dynamic driver is to stiffen it, and to stiffen it is to reduce the amount of time it takes to recover and to play the next note or the next audio info being fed to it without being slow. That's the point of metallic coatings, whether it's titanium, beryllium, whatever. Beryllium tends to do very good with bass and to get the recovery before the mids quite nicely. This sounds dope. And if I say to you tomorrow, take my hand, child, come with me. It's to a castle I will take you. And what is to be, they say will be. I think that was how that goes. I don't focus on this. There's a part down here. Here we go. It's going to go into a left-right pan. And then right here. That's Bonzo hitting that giant, whatever they call it. Flipping left, right. Boom, boom, boom. And just for the hell of it, I played the next song just because. And this was the I don't know how I'm going. And I thought, holy fuck, I could listen to these for hours. Holy shit. It's worth knowing that the cable's dope. I got the 4.4, but I do my evaluation with the Hugo 2, and the S8F is intense with micro details. The A8 by Moondrop is a more relaxed version of the S8F, like something that I would rec for longer listening. This would be a competitor for the A8. I don't care what the graph says. This is got more bass than the S8F. It's got a more relaxing long-term listening profile. Don't mind that spike because it doesn't reflect in any of the hi-hats that I look for that sometimes sound messed up. And also that long, very stable line, don't think that you won't get bass, because anything that's got bass in it is going to thunder. I mean thunder. I don't do bass IEM lists anymore, but this would possibly go on that, on songs that contain bass. And what songs that don't have bass, the low energy of the feedback for a guitar to you can hear it, because that low energy hum, I guess it is. It's now I kind of get it. $500, and then I heard 500. So this plus the M11 for $1,000. I'll have to do comparisons with it because it's just so absolutely dope. Can you hear that? I don't know how I'm gonna tell you. This is a fucking badass fucking set of IEMs. I'm out of here.